It's Saturday, January 9, 2021. Good evening. This is the Weekend Rundown. I am Rolando Now. This week, Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte on Monday called the Presidential Security Group to ignore the investigations into the unauthorized COVID-19 vaccines which they took last year. In his weekly address, the chief executive told PSG Chief Jesus Durante not to attend the hearings should the Senate summon them. Mr. Duterte said that he will stop any motive by Congress to cite the soldiers in contempt as he warned a little crisis. Philippine Congress on Wednesday revived talks for constitutional amendments amidst the coronavirus pandemic. In the House of Representatives, Representative Alfredo Garbin said that the motion is aimed to relax the country's economic restrictions through charter change. In the Senate, two administration senators filed a bill that would set a constituent assembly to reform the Constitution on its democratic and economic provisions. Malacanang assured that this charter change would not be a tool to extend President Rodrigo Duterte's term in office. Philippine Senate President Vicente Sotto III filed a bill on Monday that will grant broadcast giant ABS-CBN a fresh 25-year legislative franchise. He pointed out that the network's reach would satisfy a social weather station survey which shows more than half of the population relying on TV. Senators from the majority and the minority caucuses support the motion that would grant the beleaguered network another 25 years to go on the air. Supporters of U.S. President Donald Trump stormed Capitol Hill on Wednesday as part of their protest against Congress's vote to certify Joe Biden's win. According to them, they want to influence their members of Congress to overturn the election results in favor of the incumbent president. 5 are reported dead, including a police officer, while several were injured during the clash, with Congress reconvened to proceed with the counting of the votes. Hong Kong police arrested several pro-democracy activists on Thursday as part of the implementation of the state's national security law. 53 people were detained from 72 locations, which the number of prominent figures, according to Security Secretary John Lee, will continue to increase. Countries such as Britain and the US condemned the arrests, saying that they are moving towards authoritarianism in the process. Here are the other stories you need to know before you close the week. State-owned health insurance company PhilHealth announced on Tuesday that they will abide President Rodrigo Duterte's orders not to increase contribution payments. The agency in a statement that the temporary arrangement will take place until Congress amends the Universal Health Care Act. However, they will still collect premiums from direct contributions with an adjusted 3% rate in a reduced ceiling amount. Local government units across Metro Manila plan to procure vaccines on their own, with 2 cities garnering the largest amounts. In Quezon City, Mayor Joy Belmonte signed a deal on Tuesday with AstraZeneca that would allow 750,000 vaccine doses be distributed. Meanwhile, Makati Mayor Abigail Binay allotted 1 billion pesos for purchase of vaccines, which will be given for free. Navotas, however, holds the lowest with 20 million pesos, but Mayor Toby Tiangco said that the amount would increase depending on the needs of its residents. And Democrats will take control of the U.S. Senate following the win of John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock in a runoff election last Tuesday. The two candidates garnered 50% of the total votes against their rivals Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue with close margins. This would flip Georgia completely blue after 20 years, with Max Cleland and Zell Miller as the last Democrats to jointly represent the said state. Time now for this week's takeaway. Well, here we are. 2020 has ended. The world has opened another book, and the events in the first chapter are being written today that would make history and define the new year. While most of the world wished and hoped that 2021 would turn out to be a slow sigh of relief and positivity, different tragic events pop up on the news as the first week of January ends today. Here in the Philippines, people have learned different stories concerning their welfare and safety, particularly the death of an airline flight attendant after having attended a party in Makati. There is still no clear conclusion yet, as reports from the police and other investigating bodies greatly differ. However, people are made to believe that the cause of her demise was rape, as her companions were all male. In Malacanang, nothing different is happening still inside the presidential palace. President Rodrigo Duterte, in his latest address, has shown his love for the military as he defended his soldiers and requested Congress not to hold investigations onto whether the inoculation of the vaccines to them were legal or not. This proves to be his weakness, prioritizing his generals despite of the fact that the entire pandemic-stricken nation holds high trust in him. His defense wasn't enough, or worse, his admission from the very start was alarming. From the problems facing here in the Philippines, we go now to the dilemma that the world is experiencing as of today. And we start with the coronavirus pandemic. The United States and Europe now record their rising cases of the new COVID-19 strain, which spreads more quickly than the old variant from China. Vaccines continue to roll out across the globe. However, some people tend to doubt its efficacy, effectivity, or even their nature. The underlying question remains today: when will this never-ending struggle come to a glorious close? And lastly, the war for power between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. As Congress counted the Electoral College votes last Wednesday afternoon, pro-Trump supporters stormed into Capitol Hill and bombarded the complex as part of their protest to reverse the election win from the former vice president to the incumbent president. Nevertheless, the ballots were protected, and as expected, Joe Biden has officially won the contest. 2021 has started in a way that was totally unexpected. However, look at the bright side in the long run. The second week is about to enter on Sunday, and unless many distressing events will transpire in the coming days, always remember that hope will always be at the end of the rainbow. Let the dreams for a better year continue to shine as days go by. And that's this week's takeaway. And those are the stories for the new week of 2021. For the Weekend Rundown, I am Rolando Nam. Thank you, and please stay safe.